Hey again! In today's video, I'm going to go over my 2018 planner. And given that it's just about to be February, I'll go ahead and go over February's stuff. So I've got the little 2018 graphic. It's not very creative. My whole entire setup is nothing but a 20-cent notebook. College ruled, but very simple, very, very inexpensive. I went ahead and printed out the 2018 because it was my favorite in the Google search. I also went ahead and printed out a calendar for the whole entire year. So far I haven't used it once because I just used the one on my computer, but it's there. So if I ever remember, I could go back and use it. I came up with the goals for the year, and one of the things I saw before said, how do I want to feel at the year's end? And I thought that was a nice way to go about coming up with certain goals. Most of my feelings end up being the same. I just want to feel better than last year. That in mind, I wanted to feel accomplished, successful, and happy, just as a few different things. And then kind of, using a mind map, I thought, okay, well, what would it take to make me feel successful or accomplished, which are basically the same thing. And feeling those ways would make me happy, so that works out. Of course, I'd like pretty much the same things that a lot of people who are in my position want. A successful art career. I also want a place of my own to live, and also a pet. And in my case, a place to live, I hope, crossing my fingers, is going to be an RV of some sort. And my pet I want is a horse, because of course I do. So in order to get a lot of these big goals going, I thought about the things that I would need to get my art career off the ground. And of course, like, doing my comic is going to be the biggest thing, and posting regularly, and growing my Patreon, and posting more on Instagram in order to grow my Patreon, and doing more YouTube videos like this one to just try to get more content out to show you guys that I'm still around and I'm still kicking. So those are all important goals. And in order to get something like a horse, I need money, and of course I need the art career to go well in order to get the money. So it all kind of ties in. So ultimately I ended up figuring out that out of these little mind map pieces, I could pull out the actual actionable goals out of them. So ultimately, I kind of came up with saving a butt ton of money, posting regularly on all my social media accounts, and advertising more on those platforms. I posted about my Patreon recently, and someone actually said, I didn't know you had a Patreon, which means I'm not doing it enough. If people are telling you they don't know that you have something that you've been having for a while, then that means that you're not doing enough to kind of get that message out. You start hearing people say, I hear this too much, you post about this too much. That's something to deal with at that later time, but I've never heard that, so I'm not doing it. So definitely one of those things where I need to work on posting more rather than less. So for my actual page setup, I borrowed a layout that I saw when I had posted about it on social media, and someone linked to a big fancy planner that was a bunch of money, and I was like, well, I just like this layout, so I'm just going to take it. So I took my 20-cent notebook and went ahead and just did the same thing they did. They had the to-dos broken up into 6 different categories at the top, and I kind of took the categories that I thought were useful in my life, and then, changed it if it didn't make sense or whatever. And I still might change them, but for now, these work for me. Then I have the daily tasks next, which is the Monday, Tuesday, and etc. And then breaking it down even more, the hourlies to help track my day and what I'm doing, because largely I get through a week and I'm like, what did I even do? Like, I didn't even get anything done that I wanted to, and what did I do with my time? So this is going to help me track those aspects of my life and help me hopefully get them a little bit more in line. I went ahead and put the week of the year because I like knowing that for some reason. It makes me feel like I got a handle on it maybe a little bit more. It helps me to slow time down a little bit because as you get older, it literally seems to go faster because each year of your life takes a percentage smaller amount of time throughout your life. So I feel like tracking the weeks helps me keep in mind overall in the grand scheme of things how time is moving, if that makes any kind of sense. Going through and doing everything manually is a little bit extra work, but honestly, it didn't take too long. I know a lot of people love their very glamorous, very beautifully manicured bullet journals, and that's just not me. I'm just way too practical and functional. I would just rather spend all that time on my art and make this very utilitarian and functional and then not have to worry about any extra chores. Because doing extra doodles to me, especially when it's not going to benefit anyone else, when I could be doing like Patreon rewards or posting on social media and help growing my audience, there's just so many other things I need to do instead that I just do not have the time or the energy to make my journal look pretty. So this is kind of what you get. Very utilitarian, very functional, but hey, it works so far. So another thing I wanted to track was how I felt each month, as well as the different goals that I might have within a month. Also, I thought it could be handy to track my budget and just basically have some more room at the end for any kind of miscellaneous notes that I would want as well. So that's pretty much it. It's not super fancy, but it gets the job done. I've been only using it for a month and I've been fairly consistent with keeping track of my hourlies and everything like that, but I haven't been doing super great, especially with tracking like January's daily goings on and how I felt. Overall, it's usually pretty good, so I may even give up that space in the future and future months for something that I feel it might be more useful, I guess. I'm just a very practical person, and these kinds of lots of tracking things, while some degree of it is good, and I feel that too much of it ends up using up so much of your time that could be spent actually doing the things instead of just kind of tracking you're going to do the things. So I think it's good to keep a balance. You could probably get a little bit more fancy than mine and still have fun with it, add stickers or whatnot, but for me, it just is easier to do it this way. So that's my wrap up of how to do a very simple Bujo bullet journal. And if you want to see more of my videos, I will start posting more of them. So thank you for watching. Feel free to follow me on all the social medias, and I will see you next time. Bye.